Hi, I'm Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a wreath using these flowers I have here in my hand, the Dollar Tree wreath frame you see below, the corn husk to your left, and the pipe cleaners and the mesh I ended up not using. So they won't be a part of this wreath for today. And even the bow maker, I did not end up using that. So what I want to do is take that corn husk. It's one long garland. It happens to be 6 feet long. I got that from Hobby Lobby. I just shared some of the things they're bringing out for the fall season, and they had some of the individual corn husk out. They did not have this garland yet. I got this garland last year, but it'll probably be out soon. If not, the individual pieces of corn husk are available. Well, at my Hobby Lobby, they were already available. So what I'm going to do is attach this on the 2 inner rings of the frame, starting off the outer one, this inner one, the second one from the edge. And I'm going to attach it everywhere there's a crossbar. I was trying to decide how I was going to do this because I kept thinking if a ring is 14 inches and I'm like, the garland is 72 inches, and I was trying to figure out in my head if it was going to make it around twice, and I'm like, okay, let's just go around and see what happens, because the 14 inches is the width, not the circumference of the frame. Okay, so everywhere there's a crossbar, I'm just going to attach my garland, and then I'm going to come back and get ready for the next thing. All right, let me get this done and I'll be right back. So now that I have my garland attached, you can see on the back, I'm going to be pointing out where my hands are. That's the area where the garland did not make it around twice. So at that point, I only have one piece of garland going around. I did have a few individual corn husks, but I decided not to use them, thinking I could fill it in with flowers. In the end, I wish I had used them. And if I make another one of these wreaths, I definitely will. So right now, that loop that's at the end of the garland, I'm just attaching that to my frame so that it doesn't move around. So I chose the next closest crossbar again, and I'm using a zip tie to attach that tightly. Alright, then we're going to move to the next step. So the next thing I want to do, which is what we do all the time, that's fluff, fluff, fluff. So I'm taking that corn husk and kind of opening it up as much as possible, because I need it to be, a filler. I needed to cover as much of this wreath frame as possible. So I'm going to work on that a minute, and then we're going to be ready for the next step. So the next thing I want to do is add in my flowers, and don't know what this flower is. There was no name on it, and these are from At Home. This color is, I don't know. The closest thing I would call it is a blush, but it's not pink. It's not in the pink family. It's more of in that orange family. See that orange up against that deep spicy orange, pumpkin spice type orange. It's like somebody took that and faded the color out and made it a blush that went with that type of orange. So excuse me. So what I'm going to do is cut each individual strand, each individual stem, and get that ready to start adding it in. I'm going to be adding it in groups of 2 or 3 so that I can get some more filler going on in this wreath. You can just see that color up against that cornstalk. It's making a very nice neutral wreath, but it still has some color. In the end, I just kind of fell in love with this. I don't know. I'm usually not a neutral person. That orange to the side there, that's what I'm usually about. But as I was putting it together, the colors just spoke to me. I'm like, oh, this is just perfect. Okay, so you're going to see me now just adding in some pieces. Like I said, everything I'm fluffing up because I needed to fill in. And as I place it on the ring, you see I just took my hand and bent it a little bit so it'll go around the curve of the wreath frame. So I placed it in. I'm going to use a zip tie right where I bent it, and then I'm going to use a zip tie at the very end of the stem because I don't want those stems to stick out and end up poking you or scratching your door or anything like that. So I use two zip ties per groups of flower that I'm putting in here. So this is the part where I was saying you won't really be able to see how I'm attaching it or what I'm doing, but I'm just letting you know right where I bent it so it'll kind of curve with the wreath frame. That's where I bent the stem. I'm adding a zip tie, and at the very end I'm adding a zip tie so that end of the stem doesn't stick out and scratch at the door. Okay, I'm going to work my way around the frame again, adding in this color, and I'll be right back. So after I got the petals in, I tried to blend this burnt orange in, spicy orange, whatever you want to call it. It just overpowered it. I'm like, it's just changing the whole wreath. So I thought, I've got another color that I think will work perfectly. So I went and grabbed these petals here. These are maple leaves from Dollar Tree, and they were in this cream, which matched the cream in those petals perfectly. And I had this lavender, and the lavender had some of that cream color in it too, so it was like blending together very well. So what I did was, of course, cut them into stems, and I'm going to start attaching them, I think a purple and a cream one together, and I'm going to work my way around so where there's not anything, where the original petals aren't, it's going to fill in the spaces. And I'm going to just do that same thing, bending the end a little bit and attaching it at the bend with a zip tie, and then attaching it at the very end. Did I say that right? Where it's bent, and then again at the very end, attaching it with zip tie. And then I did heat up my hot glue gun so that if I had any areas where I felt a little uncertain about the stem staying still, I added a little bit of glue. And I did that maybe 4 or 5 times. I didn't need a whole lot of it because those, like I said, using that zip tie gun really holds those zip ties securely, and they were not moving. So I'm just playing around with it, and you'll kind of see how I'm doing here. As I work my way around, you'll see how I'm just filling it in. And then while you watch that, I'll go back later and actually attach them all. So if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you'd like to be a member of the family, hit the button, that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. I really, again, appreciate all of my new subscribers. We welcome you and thank you for your views. Again, I'm always open to questions, comments, anything you'd like to know. I'll be happy to do my best to try to help you out with anything I can. Of course, these wreaths can be made off the, what do you call it? The grapevine wreath frame. That's the one made with the bundle, looks like wooden sticks, but it's grapevine. And you would just kind of put hot glue at the ends of the stems of your flowers and stick it into the grapevine. As far as the corn husk, I would do the same thing. I would use zip ties to attach it to a grapevine wreath frame. I normally don't work with them. I have in the past. I am actually out of them right now, but I may get some more in the future. So as you see here, as I'm adding in those flowers, how it's just filling out wonderfully. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. So I'm going to finish putting these in and getting them attached, and I'll be right back. So here you can see I've gotten everything attached. I was trying to decide, you know, I had to stand up to really see it. Am I going to add a bow? Am I not going to add a bow? I'm like, nope, this is just, I just love it just as it is. It's like those colors work together so easily. They just merge together like they were meant to be. And I thought adding ribbon would add in other colors and it would kind of distract you from what was already happening in the wreath. So it still needs a little bit of shaping. You can see on one side it's a little meshed in. So I'm going to work on shaping this, and then as always I'll share some pictures with you. I actually went outside, it was a nice sunny day, and took some pictures so you can see how it looks as a completed project. All right, now I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.